We are now producing actual chips, processors to be precise, and it's time to think about graphene, which is going to be a very important ingredient for virtually everything to come. And we want to make some much commented on quality of life upgrades to our growing logistical apparatus in this episode. Hello, Legion. This is Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play some more Dyson Sphere Program in our Alpha Andromedae series. So, huge observation since the last time that I recorded for this series. And this is something that I knew about. It was added to Dyson Sphere Program within the last 6 months to a year, I want to say. It wasn't in the very last update, but it was in one of the more recent updates. And the update is that you can build these storages on top of sorters. Now, again, I knew this, but I hadn't really processed the utility of it as something that could improve upon the best practices that I already use and that I have already talked about in this series. So I've taught you all so far, and I've shown you, or at least I hope I've taught you, what the purpose of a buffer in the line is. And what we've been using thus far is what was appropriate before the change I'm about to show you, or the change indeed that I just told you about, which is that you can build storages on top of, not sorters, I think I said sorters, but splitters is what I meant to say. So you can build storages on top of splitters. So before that change, this is how you did it. You would use sorters on either side. In this case, there's nothing actually feeding back out of this one, so I need to fix that anyway. But what you can now do is even cooler. I'm going to go ahead and delete a few spaces here, and I do think I need to create a few storages. Yes, I do. I'll need to make some splitters as well. So tell you what, why don't I do, let's do 3 splitters, 3 storages, 3 more. I want to have these building for a second while I'm doing this, because once I explain what I'm doing, I'm going to spend a moment converting this planet, and then we're going to go back to Alpha Andromedae 2 and actually convert our home planet to use this same system. And why it's useful is going to be, for those of you that don't already know this from reading the comments, or don't already know this because you're a bit ahead of me in this series, this is going to blow your minds. So let's put this sorter down. Now I can go ahead and build these lines. I don't have to worry about what else I'm doing while I'm doing this. Now let's see. And we have a little bit of silicon left here, but we can now delete that. Now the advantage that we have, there are several advantages. The first, I'll give you the 2 small ones first, and then the really big one. The first small advantage is that we no longer have to rely on sorters, and we actually get those sorters back that I just deleted. So that's some free sorters. That's one small advantage. Yay. Secondly, we can feed easily and more efficiently lines coming out of the buffer in multiple locations. But here, the third advantage, here's the big one. This is the one that is just so huge. We no longer are relying on sorter speed, whether it's 1, 2, 3, or upgraded Mark III, which we'll get to later in the series, to determine how things move in and out of the buffer. Things will move smoothly in and out at the speed of the line, which is attached to the splitter, which is an enormous change in logistics, because it basically means that you can disregard the effect that the splitters would have had on the speed of the buffer. So the buffer still functions. It functions exactly as it should, but now it's only the speed of the line that influences the rate at which things come in and out, which is fantastic. So let's go ahead and do the same to our iron here. I'm going to do exactly the same. In fact, we're just going to let this drain for a moment. And this is going to take a little bit more effort here, just because of the way that this is laid out. Actually, wait. But just to make sure I have enough space, I want to place the storage there. Now we're going to pull everything. All right, there's all that. And now, check this out. Same thing. And voila. I could technically even have the sorter. I have the sorter right here splitting these lines. I could just move this sorter and put it underneath. I'm not going to, just for the purposes of demonstration, but like, it's amazing how much easier this has just gotten. So that's our metal and our silicon so far, and we haven't yet built a buffer for the chips. So tell you what, let's go ahead and do that first before we do the rest of these, because I would like this production line to be operating. We don't even have output set up for them. Okay. Best place to have output would probably be on this side. And I will go ahead and build... Let's do a splitter... How about right there? It's been pointed out in this in the comments on this series so far that on this particular planet I've been building north to south as opposed to east to west, and that's introducing a lot of problems with the lines that you've seen me correct for a lot, and that point is absolutely valid, and it's just kind of a spur of the moment thing that I started doing in this playthrough. Really, when I'm playing Dyson Sphere, I do think, obviously, I think about the logistical planning of my bases, but at the same time, I don't necessarily think in terms of min-maxing to the degree that other players might, so I'll make spur-of-the-moment decisions that are sometimes not very efficient, and sometimes I'll correct for them, sometimes I'll just live with them, and this is one where I'm not going to reconfigure this entire planet, but the feedback is noted that in general, it's good to build from east to west, and that is typically what I do. I just happen to not do that on this planet, so... We'll take care of that in the future. Let's go ahead and get the storage down. Perfect. So now that's going to start filling up slowly but surely. And I could even, if I wanted to, just to make sure we have plenty of chips for the moment. That's the first time I've done this series, but we now can have 2 complete storages full of chips ready by the next time I come to this planet to pick some up. So that's going to be very handy when the time comes. But for now, let's return to these boxes and finish fixing this situation. What I would like here is where that storage is sitting. Ooh, interesting. I don't actually have a full storage there, so I might need to increase my production of magnets on this planet. So we're going to delete that. We're going to place a splitter right there, and then storage should plop down on top of it. Yep, there we go. And we're going to pop those inside. Delete that extra storage. And then one more. Applied superconductor research done. Good. That is our graphene research done and dusted. So that is less to worry about. Okay, this is interesting. I have this splitter here. So I am actually, because this is positioned so closely to where we're going to have another one, I am going to retool this. This will be quite handy. So I think I see what I'm going to do. All right, cool. Let me first move everything to an auxiliary storage, or maybe I can go ahead and put it on a splitter. Maybe? No, it's probably best just to get it out of the way so I can think a little bit more clearly. All right, that's that. And now this splitter will go down. I could do a 2-level splitter like I did before. Wouldn't be the worst thing. Yep. So if I did it like so, that should work pretty perfectly. So now we'll have this line coming down here, feeding in, this line feeding out, and then this line feeding out that direction. And now we will put our copper storage on top of that and fill. Done. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So now we'll be doing the same thing on Alpha Andromedae shortly. But let's make sure we don't have anywhere else where that is needed. Right now I'm making glass and stone brick on this planet, but I'm not doing anything with it. So it's probably worthwhile for me to be building up those resources. Although, hang on, let's take a quick look. Now that we've unlocked graphene, what do we need in order to make it? We need sulfuric acid. Interestingly, we also need somewhat complex resource combinations to make sulfuric acid. Eventually, we'll be able to get sulfuric acid a little bit more cheaply, but for now, it requires refined oil, stone, and water. And then once we have sulfuric acid, we can combine that with the energetic graphite, which we are producing on Alpha Andromedae 2, and we can use those, again, to create our Mark II assembling machines that have that 1x production speed bonus, a 33% increase over the previous tier that we are currently using for all of our production. So we can see the production chain moving along quite nicely here. Let me take a look at what's going on with this situation, because these had not built up considerably. Now it seems like maybe they are. Also, I do think there's one more spot down here. Yep, there is. I want to go ahead and set this up in the same way as the others. So let's go ahead and have it come down to the same spot. Perfect. We're going to break down this rock ourselves. Get some stone for it. There we go. Haven't done that too much on any planet other than the home planet when we first started up, because it's really not something that's necessary once you get a little bit farther in. You could absolutely, again, you could min-max it if you wanted to, and you could go crazy, really making sure that you, picked up every single rock and got every single resource. Because when you do things that flatten the terrain, or when you do things that build on top of that space, you don't get those resources automatically. So trees, rocks, all that just kind of goes away. All right, so what I'm going to do here, rather than transferring stuff myself, let's see how fast this happens. Okay, that's not fast enough, but fun experiment. Here, I'll move the rest myself. And now we can delete that. So that's a huge upgrade. And I'll probably be taking some of these back with me, because those resources are going to be useful for the construction of the things that we are going to be doing on Alpha Andromedae 2. So let me make sure I'm done here before I head back. That was a big accomplishment to take care of during the last episode. Oh yeah, you know what? Let me do the same here. I'm going to do a second stack. As I mentioned, before long, we're going to be looking at how we can automate the process of sending these resources between worlds. But for now, I think what I will do is I think I can offload some of that metal, because I'd like to have more room in my inventory to go back. How's my fuel situation? Okay, it's good. That gave me a little bit of extra inventory space there. Very nice. All right, so let's do that. You know what? Let's just go ahead and add the second stack to all of them. A little bit more buffer never hurt anybody. That'll make sure that there's... How much goes in each of these? We've got 100. So this is 3,000 metal. 30 stacks of 100. So we'll have a buffer that's 6,000 for each of these resources. They can stack to 100 anyway. Perfect. All right, we'll go ahead and put some copper there too. Yeah, that gives us more room, and I'm happy about that. Yeah, the advantage of being able to rely on belt speed for the speed at which things feed in and out of the buffer just cannot be overstated. It is such a huge upgrade. So thank you again to those of you who pointed that out to me in the comments, because I was aware of the change, but it just hadn't clicked with me yet, because my habits were kind of set from previous play of this game, which is something that never happens in any game that I ever play on the channel, is it, Legion? I didn't think so. And away we go. Oh, wait, do I have things with me? No, I don't. Hadrian, what are you doing? What are you doing? You gotta bring things with you. Okay. It's okay. This problem is quickly resolved. I'm gonna go ahead and bring every last chip that I can. We haven't made that many so far, but I'll also bring, nice, literally all of those. So we just filled up our inventory. There's another very, very big thing that we have researched but not yet used, and that are these logistics bots and the associated logistics distributors. These are new additions to Dyson Sphere Program, which I think, again, this might have been in the same patch that they added the sorter change. So they made some major logistical changes, and I think it was in the same update. So we'll be messing with those toward the end of this episode if we can manage to get everything together that we need. And I think one of the ingredients we needed, yes, the ingredients that I'm bringing back are what are enabling me to build the logistics bots. Oh, fantastic. Yeah, I'm going to be able to absolutely go ham with these. I can even do it before I leave here, to tell you the truth. All right, I'm going to do it when I get back to Alpha Andromedae. So let's see, where are my chargers? There you are. So let me just stand in the middle of these. Done. And let's head back to Homeworld at last. We have been on this planet for a minute. So one of the first things we'll do when we arrive back on Homeworld is just take a look at how things are looking. Make sure that the production chains appear healthy, that nothing appears to be stagnant. Again, Dyson Sphere Program is very good about not punishing you for those kinds of mistakes. So we'll just find the error and fix it. If there is one, which hopefully there's not, but you never know. We can probably speed up a little bit. We're still 2 astronomical units away from Alpha Andromedae 2. Always just enjoy the cruise a little bit. Plus, the soundtrack for Dyson Sphere Program is so zen-like and relaxing. Even the intro theme, I mean, that's more epic and orchestral than zen-like and relaxing, but the intro theme, not even part of the soundtrack, but it fits the game so well. I will always associate that music with Dyson Sphere Program, even if someone else uses it, because it's royalty-free music that was used when you were first flying into the system. Talked about this in episode 1, but it's absolutely amazing. I can speed up a little more. I just want to conserve some of my battery. I think we were literally on opposite sides of the system. Let's take a look. Yeah, we were. Thankfully, Alpha Andromedae 1 is the first planet, so there is a little bit of distance being made up by the fact that we only have to travel to the inner orbit here, but all right, there's our perfect re-entry. Let's see how we're doing. Oh, ran out of energy there, but that's okay. We're almost back. We can kind of follow along here. All right, so obviously the research buildings are not functioning at the moment because I haven't added any additional tech to them, and that's okay. So, all right, tell you what, let me go over to my storage facility, which is somewhat nearby. I think actually it's decently far away. It's right over there. But I can walk over to my chargers real quick and then get there a little faster. So I'm going to stand here, charge up, then go over there and offload some of these awesome resources that I've just brought with me. How's the power grid doing? Completely fine, obviously, because not much is functioning right now. Once I get these buffers changed, there'll be a little bit more movement. And I may as well double up. You know what? Let's go ahead and build all of the storage that I can. How am I doing on splitters? I'm going to need more splitters too. But I need metal for that, so. Okay, we're recharged. Let us head back. All right, perfect. Well, we have metal here. So let's go ahead and build that. And then in the meantime, I would like to go ahead and offload these. Okay, actually, there's not enough room to offload all those. That's interesting. There we go. I can offload the copper into one of the new storages I'm about to build. So for this one, I could actually move it. Yeah, this one's going to be particularly easy because of the way that the copper situation has started here. So I'm just going to completely delete this line and that sorter and that sorter. And what we'll do beautiful. And that is everything. And so now the second stack is already filling up there. You can see the immediate impact that it has when you're not relying on sorter speed at all, because there's more space on items between the lines. Because now what you're seeing is it's literally putting out copper as fast as this one miner can bring it in, which is just a fantastic upgrade. So there's that. Let me also consider making an upgrade to, how close can we put this one? Okay, we are going to have to actually reposition this. So this will be a little bit more complex and annoying, but we'll take it. I don't have to worry about having two sorters on that line anymore. Frankly, even though I didn't anymore anyway because I had the sorter Mark IIIs down. Those are faster, a lot faster, and they can carry multiple stacks once they're upgraded. But, okay, yeah, we are going to have to move stuff. Let's see. So let's just put it here. Perfect. So now we'll delete that. And I think what I'll do with this one is just go ahead and put it right back where... I mean, I could theoretically do it there too. Wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Yeah, let's do it. Why not? So now what I'll do is I'll have that splitter sitting there. It just gives you so much more versatility. And it's a great example of the ways that the developer have already improved upon the fantastic foundation that they've started with. It's just... I can't say enough good things about the thoughtfulness of Youthcat and how they build this game up on top of what they've already constructed. Okay, so we're going to have to do a little bit of extra moving around here too. That's fine. We will make do. So there's a little bit of pop out there. It's to be expected. Let's see if I can just go ahead and pick these up, maybe? Yes, I can. Perfect. Oh, wait, there's still one littered. Where? Oh, right there. I saw it. All right. So, splitter will now go... Looks like here is going to be the best spot. So it's not on exactly the same lines as before. But I like the lines just feeding straight toward the existing smelters that we've already built. Boom. All right, so that one's done. And now stone, last one. And then there are a few buffers down here as well. But once this is done, it's just an enormous upgrade to both Homeworld and to any additional worlds that we build going forward. Not to mention the outpost that we just left from. So, yeah, I would like the stone one to be like literally right where that one is sitting. So we're just going to have to move some stuff. Delete those sorters because we no longer need sorters for any of this. It's beautiful. Gorgeous. All right. So those are the mainline resources, now all using the upgrade to the logistics. And you can see the resources starting to trickle in a little bit more slowly because we no longer have any kind of reliance on sorter speed for those buffers. So the mines are just pumping stuff onto those lines as fast as they can. It's fantastic. All right, same thing here. I want these buffers to be adequately set up. So how should I do this? Because this is a little bit different. I have this storage that's pulling from 2 lines away. I think I might be able to use splitters in a bit of a novel way here. So what I'm going to do, just to do this without being too distracted by what is in the existing storages, so I'm going to delete those. We're going to transfer all of the glass that we can into storage. We'll hold on to some of it, that's fine. We're going to transfer all of that stone. Oh, wait, no, not those. And there's that. Now, I believe what I can do here, hang on, I might have to move you just slightly, sir. Why did I even need that there? Oh, yeah, I needed that there for the... That is actually affecting some of the buffer, so I'll rebuild it here. I needed it for the sorters, I think, but now I don't, because we're using splitters. And splitters don't require power, amazingly. So... All right, let's try this. That's a little ugly, but that's okay. So now, very importantly, we're going to have 2 output lines. And I want to install some filters, so I'm going to have to delete these lines because I don't want to have these resources combined. It'll just hurt my soul to see them combine like that. So let's have... This is kind of an experiment. It's probably not necessary for me to have a splitter for both of these, but I'm experimenting with new ways to do things. All right, so I can add a filter here. So if we can filter, where is it, glass. Oh, we can only filter glass through one of them. Okay, well that's not necessarily the worst thing. So that means everything that's not glass will go out the other side. So here's what we'll do. So in theory, what we could do is we could just put the storage on top of this splitter. We're not going to, because this is a bit of an experiment. This is a gameplay feature that I haven't messed with as much yet. And so I just want to play with it a little while I learn. So bear with me. If you know of a better way to do this, I will figure it out. But for now, let's see. So I do want to reconnect these now, because I've got the filter set up. All right, so we have glass and stone. That's exactly what I wanted. So now it's a matter of just placing these here. Let's go ahead and move everything back. Beautiful. And I would like to go ahead and stack these a few times. Perfect. All right, so with that, what we should now see, because the splitter will handle this for me more or less perfectly, is all the stone will go there, and all the glass will go there. Oh, that's beautiful. Look at that. So rather than having to elevate a line, which I could have also done, absolutely, we can have the splitter dealing with it that way. So the alternative would have been I can delete the splitter and just have this line hop over here now that they've built in that feature, which would work just as well. But I wanted to see how it would work to have those particular resources set up in that way. So moving along, we are 30 minutes in here, but I kind of want to finish this upgrade before I wrap the episode. So I'm going to go a little bit long to do this. And then the logistics spots are something we'll focus on in the next episode. So this is going to be definitely a housekeeping episode, but worth it to get this upgrade in place. Lots of energetic graphite just stored up and ready to go, which I love to see. So, you know what? Let me go ahead and grab some additional stone so that I can make some more storage. Plenty more, so I don't even have to worry about it. Delete the sorters. Trying to get a little bit more efficient with how quickly I click through that, because I understand now like how to get everything basically in one go. Now I just need to build an additional storage on top of that and transfer those. But before I get a little bit too excited, let's make sure that I also do have just a little bit of it in my inventory so that that is not as much of a concern. Okay, and now for steel. Same process. We're going to delete you. Now technically, I'll need to reinstate these limits. I don't think I reinstated the limits on some of the other resources that I had limited when I deleted storages on those other planets. Or it might have just been on the glass and the stone brick. But also, we might have gotten to a point where we don't have to worry about the limits as much, and it's better to have a good back buffer of steel. So we'll see how this goes. I'm going to try taking the steel off of the limit. Oh, that's interesting. Why is it letting me build that? Oh god, that's so broken. Oh no. That's not supposed to be possible. Oh, that's cursed. We're going to delete that just because it feels wrong. Holy crap. Welp. Let's go ahead and take that steel back, and we will rebuild. Not only will we take the limit off, but we will allow a stack too high. And just see how the base does. And some problems could develop, but it could give us an opportunity to improve efficiency in some key ways, I think. I'm thinking about ways that I might be able to do this better. I'm already seeing it. Yep. Hold that thought. So here's how we'll do it. And then what we'll do is just feed these directly this way. Perfect. Like I said, Zen-like soundtrack. It's gorgeous. Doesn't get better. All right, so just getting all these magnets out of their container. And with that being done, I can do this. Et voila. Did I put anything else? Okay, for a second I thought I might have put something in that storage that shouldn't have gone there, but it looks like I am okay. And now a very important buffer. Let's go ahead and delete the sorters here. Again, notice how easily when I point at something, like I very rarely have to struggle to tell the game what exactly I'm trying to click. That's one of the great things about the way that Dyson Sphere's user experience is. You just don't have to fight it too hard. It'll figure out what you're trying to do. I don't know how they do it. Maybe someone in the comments can talk about it, but it's really impressive, especially when you start getting spaghetti situations and multiple stacks of lines. It's kind of starting to happen here. Like, you can generally point and it will highlight the thing that you want to do, and you can maybe do a little bit of camera movement to truly get ahead of the curve and make sure that you are able to look specifically at the thing you're trying to modify. But it just works very well. Which is really what you want to say about any quality engineering product. Anytime something has been well engineered, the ultimate compliment, or anytime something has been engineered, period. Like, you want to be able to say that it just works. So, hats off to you, Youthcat. You are doing it right. Okay. Perfect. All right, so this is going to get interesting because now we're going to start seeing a situation where I think it's going to take a while for this to fill up, but these are going to empty out, and this line might not be as constant a source of production as it has been in the past. So we're just going to have to keep an eye on this as we go through. All right, one more to upgrade here, and then I will go ahead and call this one. Let's see. I also haven't built... I changed the direction of the boxes. No! The uniformity's been changed, so I'll just have to make sure this one's sideways as well so it matches. Oh well. I was so careful about that in the first episode, and then it's like, nope, don't care anymore. Didn't notice. Too busy talking about other stuff, enjoying the game. That's hilarious. All that trouble. All right. All that toil. Oh, interesting. It's trying to... See, this is a first for me. Hang on, maybe if I delete it further and then try and reconnect it. Oh, wow. Okay. So this is a downside of the new kind of auto bridges that have been built, and this might really mess me up here. Let's see if we can fix it. Let's see if the game will do it for me again, since I've built something over the top of that one. Oh, there we go. It's doing it for me. So if you didn't notice what happened there, it wasn't allowing me to put a belt down underneath the arch that it automatically constructed for me. That was unexpected. Okay, so this has been an interesting experiment. This is, I would say, the first time we've had an episode that I would classify as more of like a pure maintenance episode, where it's like, hey, we've identified a problem, something to go back and fix and improve. And in this case, it was just based on a change that had been made to the game, as opposed to like an outright mistake that I made. But there could also be maintenance episodes where it's like, oh, there's something wrong that I did, and you have to go back and spend a lot of time working on it. And that's going to be part of the series to an extent, and fixing those problems is going to be pretty satisfying to watch. It's just that in this case, I don't think there was necessarily an obvious problem. Things were working, it's just now they're working better. So it's not as much of the scenario where you would have a problem. There's a lot of satisfaction from like seeing the problem resolved by the end of the maintenance episode. This is more of one that's just, hey, let's make an improvement so we can avert future problems and incorporate the latest strategies from the last couple of updates. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this one, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. If it's not your first time or even your second, look for the join button to access unique emotes, badges, and other perks. New episodes are coming out every day at noon, US Eastern Time. Comments are always welcome. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time.